Hello and welcome to Panorama on Africa's largest television network. Coming to you live from the studios of NTA Maiduguri Zonal Center. On the program today, we focus on the federal government's commitment to strengthening Nigeria's healthcare delivery system, particularly the modernization and expansion of tertiary health institutions across the country. Amidst growing population and increasing health demands, the government is investing in infrastructure, medical equipment, and institutional capacity to ensure federal tertiary hospitals meet international standards and respond effectively to emerging challenges. A case in point is the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, UMTH, which recently inaugurated 8 major projects ranging from diagnostic and treatment centers to residential facilities and administrative complexes, among others, as part of a broader vision to improve service delivery and training at the institution. Following the inauguration, UMTH also played host to the 110th General Meeting of the Committee of Chief Medical Directors of Federal Tertiary Hospitals in Nigeria, a gathering aimed at assessing the state of tertiary healthcare and exploring innovative strategies to move the sector forward. On today's edition, we shall take a closer look at these developments and the way forward. I am Abubakar Musa, your guide on the program. Oil and gas industry players want Nigeria's yet to be developed deep water oil and gas reserves estimated at over 5.13 billion barrels of oil and 13.53 trillion cubic feet of gas to be harnessed through strategic roadmap and collaboration. This is the focus of industry stakeholders' workshop on deep and shallow water oil and gas reserves development in Nigeria. Lydia Sampson will now tell us more.
As oil and gas reserves offer a potential game changer for the nation's energy sector and economy. Success, key players say, hinges on sustained policy momentum and investor confidence to convert these vast resources into tangible national wealth. With shallow and onshore reserves maturing, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission says it is determined to ensure regulatory clarity.
It is in the light of the number of yet to be developed deepwater opportunities, I constituted a shallow and deepwater cluster development committee in the commission to a collaborative effort with our amiable industry players on how to unlock these potentials.
They acknowledge that harnessing these opportunities demands significant investment in technology, infrastructure, and human capital. Industry experts stress that attractive fiscal frameworks, regulatory stability, and faster project approvals are crucial to unlocking the frontier. Deepwater projects could not only boost Nigeria's oil production, helping achieve targets of up to 2.4 million barrels per day, but also drive job creation, technology transfer, and support cleaner domestic energy through gas development. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate International Day of Women and Girls of African Descent, harping on the need for them not to relent in the pursuit of excellence and leaving behind enviable legacy for the coming generations. The event was also marked with the launch of books telling the story behind the smiles of women. Comfort Fashion will now tell us more.
It's just like a rose flower that blossoms amidst thorns. That usually is a story of women thriving amidst bustle and hustle. Their resilience is unequal, full of talent and compassion for the growth of the nation. These depict the true story and attributes of African women and girls.
Today is a bold affirmation of identity and our rightful place in shaping history.
The DGNTA commits to providing sustained coverage of your events and activities in ensuring that women and girls of African descent are empowered to achieve their full potential.
No not going to get to wherever you want to go on a platter of gold. You have to work at it.
The International Day of Women and Girls of African Descent reminds us not only of the injustices that women of African descent have faced throughout the annals of history, but also of their unmatched resilience, strength, and brilliance.
2 books, one of which is thriving amidst the hustle and bustle, and the second, Margi, A Journey Through History and Culture, written by Dr. Esther Manza, a former Director General of Women Development Center, were presented to the public to further convey the theme of the day, celebrating the legacy, strength, and the future of African women and girls. Comforts, fashion, NGA News.
The National Orientation Agency, NOA, has issued an advisory to promote responsible U.S. visa use among Nigerians. A statement by the Director General of NOA, Malam Lanre Isa Onilu, indicates that the advisory came as a result of the concerns raised by the government of the United States on activities inconsistent with the stated purpose of travel and visa classification. Isa Onilu notes that the U.S. authorities will continue to monitor the activities of visa holders, and visas can be revoked, while individuals may be deported for violations of immigration or any other U.S. laws. The NOADG reminds Nigerians traveling to the U.S. to declare at the airports all excess cash above the minimum amount allowed by the U.S. laws and ensure that items stamped as contraband are not included in their baggage. He also encouraged students studying in the United States to inform the school if they drop out, skip classes, or leave program of study to avoid their visas being revoked and the possibility of losing the eligibility for future U.S. visas. He implored Nigerian applicants to note that U.S. consular offices may likely deny tourist visa applications if they believe the primary purpose of travel is to give birth in the United States to obtain U.S. citizenship for the child. This is Panorama on the Nigerian Television Authority. We have more reports for you as soon as we return.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, we turn dark into light, we make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Diversity is unique, we have more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity, we know they carry life. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Part of efforts to sustain the breakthrough by the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital in kidney transplant, Borno State Government has announced a release of initial 250 million naira to enable 50 less privileged citizens to undergo treatment of kidney-related issues at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum revealed this at the 110th regular meeting of the Committee of Chief Medical Directors of Federal Tertiary Hospitals in Nigeria, held at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Mohammed Goni reports that epoch projects have been inaugurated as part of the regular meeting and distribution of 10 ambulances to healthcare facilities.
The 110th regular meeting of the Committee of Chief of Medical Directors and Medical Directors of Tertiary Hospitals in Nigeria had in attendance about 72 members across the country. to review challenges in the health sector and chart the way forward. Governor Bagana Omar Azlim noted the critical roles UMTH and other tertiary health facilities play in addressing healthcare needs of the citizenry and the breakthrough recorded in kidney transplant, especially at UMTH.
I'm pleased to announce that Borno State government will deposit the sum of 250 million naira at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital to support kidney transplant of 50 patients.
The governor noted that Borno State government is also building Kashim Ibrahim Teaching Hospital to complement efforts of the UMTH, adding that the state authorities have built many general hospitals across the state to bring accessible and quality healthcare services to the citizenry.
In programs of workforce training, we have developed in the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation an executive master class for CEOs and DGs of federal government parastatals.
When I looked carefully as to what the president is doing, I'm realizing more and more the wisdom behind choosing health. It's important because we take care of patients.
Chief Medical Director UMTH Professor Ahmed Ahijo noted the support rendered to the institution by the Borno State government to the tune of 500 million naira, which had enabled running of services in the aftermath of the 2024 flood disaster, as well as support from the federal government and other well-meaning Nigerians. Chairman of the Committee of Chief Medical Directors, Professor M. Basi, assured the gathering that the committee will sustain the transformational initiative of the present administration in the health sector. There were goodwill messages from the representative of the SGF and WHO expressing support to the transformational effort in the health sector. As part of activities marking the 110 regular meeting, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare and Head of the Civil Service of the Federation and other dignitaries inaugurated projects that include 150-bed capacity Brigadier Abba Kyari General Hospital at Bolori 2, built and remodeled by the Borno State government, School of Nursing, GOPD, and General Laboratory at Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital Maiduguri. Projects inaugurated at UMTH comprise Bola Ahmed Tinubu Medical ICT Institute, Interventional Radiology Center, Jibril Aminu Heart Center, Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbai El Kanemi Stroke and Neurosciences Center, among others. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Goni, NTA News.
Let us at this point bring in the Chief Medical Director of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, Professor Ahmed Ahijo, who is going to provide deeper insight into the impact of these developments on healthcare delivery in Nigeria and the future of tertiary health institutions across the country. Professor Ahijo, good to have you on Panorama today.
Thank you, Musa.
All right, Prof, can you elaborate on the 8 projects recently inaugurated at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital and their benefits to the Northeast region? And also, how do these projects going to align with the federal government's vision for tertiary healthcare in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. The University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital is the largest federal tertiary health institution in Nigeria, with a bed capacity of, as of on Tuesday when we commissioned this project, of 1,577 beds. And when we are formulating projects at University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, 2 cardinal things comes to our mind. One, what is the government agenda on healthcare in Nigeria? So we look at all the government relevant focus in its agenda in healthcare provisions to Nigeria so that we can align with the national plan for Nigeria in healthcare. And then once we look at that scope, then we go into the local needs of our own society. We start looking at from the Borno State angle, the Northeast Nigeria, West African sub-region. We look at it as such. So one of the projects that we commission is the medical ICT, that is Bola Ahmed Tinubu Medical ICT. This is a national project. I think in the whole of West Africa today, we have only one in Senegal, And this is the first one in Nigeria. We realized that most of the ICT-trained graduates from universities and polytechnics, they lack medical knowledge. So it's difficult for them to develop ICT peculiar to medicine or developing softwares or whatsoever in the field of ICT that will help. So we're training medical personnel in this center that will be good in medical field and at the same time in core ICT. They should be able to start work immediately they are employed. Otherwise, prior to this, we have to train them maybe 1-2 years in medical line before they can start working effectively. This is one of the projects and it's the first one in the country. The second project that was commissioned was the Interventional Radiology Center. It is the first standalone interventional radiology center in the entire West Africa, and is the largest in the whole of Africa. It has provision for 4 cath labs, and University of Maiduguri pioneered the provision of interventional services in the entire West African sub-region. And it is a training hub for interventional radiology, where already we have obtained accreditation by the National Postgraduate Medical College and the West African College of Surgeons for training in interventional radiology. So this is one of the rare fields where Nigerian patients travel abroad to obtain services. Now they can come easily to have things like uterine fibroid embolization, angioplasties, stenting, embolizations. They will all do them here in Maiduguri. And then the third project that we commissioned was the Heart Center. The Heart Center is a regional Northeast center. In the entire Northeast, we do not have facilities for open heart surgery and also facilities to do coronary angioplasty and stenting when patients have heart attack. So this center is aimed to fill that gap and is named after Professor Jibrin Amin, who is the engine or the brain behind the establishment of University of Maiduguri. May Allah grant him Al-Jannah. So the cardiology center, the heart center is housing both cardiology and cardiothoracic surgery. The next project that was commissioned is the Alhaji Dr. Abubakar Ibn Garbai Al-Enemi Al-Kanemi Stroke and Neuroscience Center. This is also a national center because as of today, there is no stand-alone 150-bedded center for stroke alone in any hospital in Nigeria. So it is going to serve the whole of Nigerians. Our aim is to treat emergency stroke. Stroke is a common problem. And emergency stroke treatment should be within a window of 6 hours. If you miss that window, then treatment is going to be very, very difficult to, without losing some of the having neurological deficit. So our own aim is to treat acute stroke using modern techniques. And we're liaising, collaborating already. We signed the MOU with the University of Liverpool, which they donated some of the equipment, and also we sent our staff there, and they are also coming here as a collaboration between them. Our aim is to do clot retrieval, complex brain surgeries, and also all forms of interventional and rehabilitative therapy in the stroke center. And also, we have to thank Sir Emeka Ofo. You remember the September 10th devastation of flood in Maiduguri. Both of the linacs in our cancer center are damaged, badly beyond replacement. A linac is an expensive machine. One linac, the HD Versa, is over 5 billion. The Infinity Elector is over 3 billion.
Okay, Prof, I think we just have to move
so Sir Emeka Ofo donated such by donating 1.57 billion to ensure that that machine comes to life.
I'm sorry, Prof. Due to time factor, can we quickly move to the next question? The 110th General Meeting of the Committee of Chief Medical Directors of Federal Tertiary Hospitals recently held in Maiduguri was apparently a significant event. Now, can you tell us the key outcomes and recommendations of that meeting?
Thank you very much. The Committee of Chief Medical Directors and Directors across all the federal institutions in Nigeria met here in Maiduguri, and deliberations were done on the way forward in the health sector in Nigeria and the challenges that is affecting the health sector. And one of the major challenges that we are having is improved funding. We have to improve funding in healthcare. Healthcare is an expensive to establish and it's expensive to sustain.
Capital intensive.
Yes, so we need a lot of funding. Currently, we need almost in line with the African Union, almost 15% of the budget should go to healthcare. That is one of the things. Improve infrastructure. We have to commend the federal government for really moving along that direction. If you look at one of the things the current government is doing, under the leadership of the Honorable Coordinating Minister, is to improve funding in the healthcare, and a lot of things have been done along the tertiary healthcare. Prior to this, the focus is not on the tertiary healthcare. Now they are refocusing. We have to thank him for doing that. And similarly, the brain drain issue. The brain drain is another thing, and I believe there is need for improved welfare package for doctors and other hospital staff. This will stop them from moving out of the country. And there are many other things that we have discussed. I believe these are the major things. But before that, collaboration is very, very vital. One of the things that was observed, the case study is the relationship between the Borno State government, represented by His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, with the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. He emphasized all the time the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital treats the people of Borno State. He invests a lot. In fact, sometimes I feel as if the hospital is for the state government, the way he takes it as his own. Infrastructurally, he built a conference center, he built staff quarters for us, he built so many things in the hospital, and at the time of our needs, all the time, if you remember, he gave almost 500 million during the flood disaster, which enabled us to commence services very fast. So we really have to thank him for doing a lot along that line. And most of the CMDs, they mentioned that they pray the state governors will align with the way our own governor is working with the federal tertiary health institutions in the state. Not particular, even the educational institutions, he is doing the same to them. Even the universities in the region, he is doing the same to them. I think this is a very commendable step that we really would like others to emulate.
All right, Professor, what are your expectations for the future of tertiary healthcare in Nigeria, and how can the federal government support its growth and development?
Very bright. Very, very bright. We have a bright future for the tertiary health institutions. But as we know, every good soup, you must have a lot of things that comes along with that. One, we must improve the production of our doctors. The patient or population to doctor ratio is very, very wide. That means even if you have infrastructure, the human resources in health, if it is not tackled, the infrastructure will remain like that. So we have to ensure that we fund the colleges of medicine in the universities and the universities that are full-fledged medical universities. And that will increase the number of students entry. The population is increasing. If you do not calculate exactly the direction to go, we are likely have a wide gap between the population and the health professionals that are required. So investing in medical education is very, very vital. We have to start producing our own equipment. Most of the healthcare equipment that we have today are imported into Nigeria. The government and our business partners and the major global companies, we must all come together to see how we can produce our own equipment in Nigeria. And also, we have to solve the problem of infrastructure, especially electricity. There is going to be very, very difficult for a hospital setting to run effectively without electricity.
All right, Professor Ahmed Ahijo, Chief Medical Director, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. We appreciate you so much for those beautiful insights into Panorama today. Thank you so much and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you.
All right, up next, it's sports, and here is Gift George with that.
Nigeria's women's basketball team, the D Tigers, are through to the semi-finals of the ongoing Women's Afro Basket Championship taking place in Côte d'Ivoire after an impressive 83-47 victory over their Cameroonian counterparts. The D Tigers dominated from start to finish to storm into the semi-finals of the 2025 Women's Afro Basket Championship in Côte d'Ivoire. Ami Okonkwo was unstoppable, dropping 18 points, 6 rebounds and 1 assist, leading Nigeria's charge with pure intensity. Their next match is a semi-final clash with Senegal. Meanwhile, still talking basketball, the Federation of International Basketball Association